brand new from Team Corrali, we have the Kagama 1/8 scale monster Truggy. This is an awesome looking truck, and I think it's going to be a real competition to the Arrma Kraton, as long as it ends up being as durable as their previous truck based on the same platform, the Team Corrali Asuga. Now, while the Asuga was a big buggy, this is essentially the same size, but because buggies are normally smaller, this is going to be a 1/8 scale Truggy. It's very similar to the Asuga, and that's a good thing. The Asuga is a very durable, awesome handling, really fun truck, and I think this will be as well. I put some bigger tires on the Asuga when I had it, and it really transformed it into quite the basher. Now make sure you get subscribed. We've got all the latest news and reviews coming up, as well as bashing, crashing, upgrades, and more. Taking a closer look at this, we can see that it's based on the same platform as their previous version cars, with quite a few updates. Most of the same updates are shared by the Asuga, such as the updated arms. Of course, these arms are going to be a little bit wider, slightly updated shocks, an upgraded center differential, other parts that are shared back from the 2022 XTR, such as spring steel outdrives, and a few other bits and pieces. What's going to be unique to this is the center brace system. Having a taller body allowed them to have a bigger, beefier center brace than they even had on the Asuga, and it's tied into the front and rear of the chassis with a lot of screws. Those are tying into some new shock towers that are a different shape from the Asuga, again, because it's a different style of car. Beyond that, a lot of this is going to look familiar if you're familiar with Team Corrali. The shocks are basically the same. They do have the shock protectors that were originally seen on the Skeeter. Chassis layout is basically identical to what we're used to seeing. Wheels appear to be new, but the tires appear to be the same design as the ones on the Dementor. That's not a bad thing. Team Corrali makes some of the most durable, best tires you can get. I would have liked to have seen a new design, but I understand why they didn't update it. This is going to come in two different flavors. You're going to have a roller, of course, that won't have electronics. The one that does have electronics has their tried and true Torox 185 ESC, which is basically a Max 8 G1 ESC with a little bit more horsepower, and their Curon 825 motor. This is a very powerful, very reliable combination, and I think it'll do just fine in this truck. Let's talk about how this thing looks. Now, I am personally a little disappointed in the looks. Team Corrali tends to have this kind of rounded, bulbous look to their vehicles, and unfortunately, this one's no different. With the Asuga, it seemed like they were getting away from that. It had some nice crisp lines to the body, but they seem to have kind of taken a step backwards on this one. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't look bad, and it comes in a bunch of different colors, which is really exciting, but I think they could have done better, especially for something that's such an important part of how the vehicle looks and with how incredibly well their main rival Arrma does. I think they could have done a little bit better with this, but who knows? Maybe this thing will look better in person. Speaking of in person, I'm going to be getting one of these things, and I cannot wait to get it, try it out, bash it, crash it, who knows, maybe even try it on 8S. I'm going to get one pre-ordered as soon as they're available. Speaking of pre-order, pricing appears to be just a little bit more than the Asuga, which is to be expected given that it's a Truggy and not a buggy. They haven't announced pricing in the US yet, so I'm not entirely certain what it's going to be, but I expect it to be in line with that as well. All right, guys, what do you think about this? Think you're going to pick up one of these trucks? I think they're awesome. I cannot wait to get mine, and I can't wait to see you in this video.